From the heart of Georgetown, Guyana, comes a story of unparalleled resilience and determination. Carlotta Cora and Eversley Gabrielle's journey from a nursing assistant to a dedicated nurse with a master's degree is nothing short of extraordinary. Her unwavering faith and perseverance have guided her through personal traumas and adversities, including the heart-wrenching loss of a child. In I Rise, Carlotta shares her profound life story, bringing authenticity and a deep sense of compassion to every page. Through her unique experiences, she illuminates themes of faith, struggle, perseverance, and the profound impact of grace in her life. Carlotta's narrative is not just about surviving hardships, but thriving through them, turning pain into purpose. As a nurse, Carlotta has dedicated her life to caring for others, embodying compassion and empathy in her work. She has been a beacon of hope and a source of strength for many, leading by example and inspiring those around her. Her story reflects her commitment to positive change, demonstrating how one person's journey can uplift and empower others. I Rise is more than a memoir. It is a heartfelt journey that touches hearts, inspires minds, and uplifts spirits. Carlotta's legacy is one of hope and inspiration, reminding us that within every struggle lies the potential for transformation and strength. Her words encourage readers to find their inner resilience and to believe in the power of grace and perseverance. Discover the transformative power within every struggle, and let Carlotta Gabrielle's story remind you that strength and grace lie within us all. Through her story, Carlotta seeks to motivate, empower, and encourage, proving that no matter the challenges we face, we have the ability to rise above them and create a legacy of hope and inspiration.
Things that have to bear the condensation that will bring out of you what you need to be because of what comes with it.
Welcome to The Conversation, where words have power to unite us all. Are you passionate about literature? Do you find solace and inspiration within the pages of a book? Then we invite you to join our global community of readers in our Conversation Book Club. Whether you're in Guyana or anywhere else in the world, our book club offers a space of meaningful dialogue, discovery, and connection. Together, we explore the depths of storytelling, share insight, and celebrate the beauty of diverse perspectives. Led by Pastor Seon Rodney and Pastor J.D. Prasad, our book club fosters an environment of respect, empathy, and understanding. They invite you to join them on this enriching journey. To become a part of our vibrant community, simply reach out to Pastor Seon Rodney at 678-770-0430. or Pastor J.D. Prasad at 592-662-9844. Let's embark on a shared adventure through the world of literature, because in the Conversation Book Club, every voice matters.
Good night, good night, good night, tribe, good night, community, good night, village. Welcome to the August platform, the Conversation Motivational platform, where I always said is the Walmart of social media, where we have the Conversation Motivational Hour, Conversation Motivational Date Night, Conversation Zero to Hero TV family. We have the Conversation Small Business Community. We have the Conversation Merchandise Craving. We have the Conversation Together We Will Rise Ministry. A one-stop place to be. With that being said, welcome to the August platform. And our love language is simply value. We believe in the reciprocal nature of value. Where we value you, you value us. And together, we value each other. Tonight, we ask you for one of the greatest of pleasantry, and that is to share this podcast near and further afield with your boo, your sweetheart, your darling, your honeycomb, your bae, your husband, your wife, your BFF, your road dog, whoever it is, your frenemies, and also your enemies. Just share this podcast tonight because someone would need a level and a measure of understanding of the obstacles that they do face in life, that they will able to overcome obstacles. I have with me tonight a part of the family because I normally say 5 minutes, you are a visitor. Minutes, you are a guest. But after 5 minutes, you are certainly family. And I have with me is no other than Chaplain Christiana. Is not her first rodeo, but she is a part of the Conversation family. 10 toes down, no question asked. But she is extremely and excessively busy because she have her own platform, which you're going to know all that is going on, bringing out the great report from Speak Out, breaking the silence. I have to make sure I put it in parts. Speak Out, breaking the silence. So if you have something to speak out and to break your silence of what you were concealing, maybe for weeks, maybe for years, maybe for a long period of time, decades, and you really want to come to the fore because something was eating you away from the core, so I can rhyme it. But nevertheless, speak out, breaking the silence is the place to be. So I hand you over to no other than of our family, no other than Chaplain Christiana. She's going to tell you all to do with Speak Out and how you can begin to speak out, breaking your silence and everything else where you can reach her and all that is going on that great August platform. Speak Out, breaking the silence.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Pastor Seon. How are you?
My friend.
Hi, friend. It's such an honor to be here. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be on a podcast with you. It doesn't matter a podcast, but I'm happy to be here with you tonight on the Conversational Motivational Hour. And my name is Christiana, guys, and I'm the host of Speak Out Breaking the Silence. And this is a podcast that is every Monday on YouTube and on Facebook. You can search for us on Speak Out Breaking the Silence, and you will find us there on YouTube and on Facebook. I think the name speaks for itself. I think so many people are suffering in silence, and I began this journey because I too was suffering in silence, and I decided no more. Okay. And then I thought about how many others are suffering silence and feel like they are alone. And so when I was led to bring this podcast on, I was like, never, I'm not doing this at all, until, I had that moment. But how many of you know that our trials and tribulation is a setup for our purpose? How many of you know that deep down in the valley, God is with us and there's something that He wants to birth through you? And so until we go through trials and tribulation, we won't understand it quite yet. And so this is how Speak Out, breaking the silence. And now I can look back and I can say, thank God for the journey, because now I see the purpose today. I see what He was doing with me deep down in the valley. And it's so many times we don't understand it, Pastor Seon. But when we look back, we can smile and we can say, thank you, Lord, for using me, right? So that we can help others. So if you have a story that you want to share and you want to speak out about and you want to break your silence about, you can contact me on 929-333-0114 or via Facebook Messenger or christianap28 at gmail.com. You can reach me there or reach out to Pastor Cian. Thank you.
And I listened to the last podcast. I'm a 90%, or I'll even go as far of 98% of all your podcasts. I mark my name present, and I always take a front row seat. And you may ask why. And I know you never ask, but tonight, welcome, Devon, Tony. Why I have always taken a front row seat and 98% of your podcast from Jump Street, from the
Yes.
onset, from the beginning. I'm the one that's cheering you on and your biggest supporter. Because I have discovered that many people have a voice for their fellow comrades. They have a voice for their fellow family, their family, fellow friends, but it doesn't have a voice for their situation. It doesn't have a voice for their circumstances and for what they face. And because it doesn't have a voice, they're killing themselves slowly. And one songwriter said they're killing themselves softly, because what are happening? They're going through life existing and not really living, because what is eating away to the core is the thing they should give a voice to. And that's why even God started to help us to understand the power of our voice, that he even tell Moses to speak to the rock, because there's power in you speaking. Because when you speak, things happen. When you speak, lifeless situation becomes life, and things that are dead begin to regain life, and you begin to recognize that you start living again. You start evolving. You recognize that what you thought was once medically inclined is no longer medically inclined, because all you had to do was to release and give voice to what is eating you to your core. And that's why the authenticity of the name of your program, and then you become authentically, uniquely you, because God is giving you your own trials, your own testing, and now you have what you're coming with, testimony. And not only a testimony, you come with what we call experiential knowledge. So tonight I'm asking you with the greatest of endorsement, that if you have a situation that you're going through and you want to lend your voice because it is eating your way to the core, probably you are raped, and you want to just get over to speak out of the agony. The Bible talk about your flower of your age, that is your virginity. So I'm teaching you 101. You won't find virginity in the Bible, but you're going to find the word flower of your age. Probably you are raped, probably by your father, or by whoever who, or by your uncle, or by your auntie, or by even your mother, a male and female. You need somewhere, because you can only beginning to live, most of the thrive, is when you begin to speak, because then you can only overcome. And the greatest obstacle, Christiana, chaplain, people goes into isolation, and
Mhm.
they never enjoy their life from that moment. They never overcome. They live through the trauma, whatever trauma. Some people cannot even pass an hospital even today, and it happened 10 years ago, because
Mhm.
experiences. Some people cannot hear certain music, because when they hear a particular song, a particular beat or tone or tenor, it brings back them to that traumatic experience that was. Certain people, they can smell certain cologne, because at
Yep.
that, whatever is the traumatical experience, the cologne was once weird, and so on. So speak out, breaking the silence, as give you a platform, as give you a place that you can be free. You can only be free if you want to be free. Do not kill yourself in self-sabotage. Do not inflict your own wound to your grave. And you asking yourself, Pastor Seon, how can I punish from the cradle to the grave? Certainly there's a pathway for release. Certainly there's an opportunity for you to start living. And I always say there are three topic tonight, part question tonight. Are you going to sink? Are you going to survive? Or are you going to thrive? If you want to thrive, you have to release. It's because breaking the silence is the first place you can go. Oh, yes. And you can begin to move from sinking. Oh, yes. In sleepless night and so on, wetting your pillow. Nobody see your tears, not showering for many days, not showering for months, because it's weighing you down, and feel no one cares, no one knows. There is a platform is available, and therefore come and speak, and you recognize there are more for you than those against you. You are coming
Mhm.
community of support. You're coming to a community of help. Suicide is not the way out, brethren. Suicide is not the way out, family. Isolation is not the way out. Having your own pity party is not the way out. We are willing
Yeah.
receive you. We have our arms open wide. We're not gonna come to judgmental zone because we all have our own experience. And with that being said, thank you once again on behalf of Speaker Breaking the Silence, CEO and visionary Christiana Phillips, that tonight you has graced us with your presence as we deal with the topic tonight, overcoming obstacles. For the note takers tonight, once again, our topic is overcoming obstacles. I'm no better person to fit this topic tonight and for us to be 10 toes down, working in sync with each other, than the visionary and the owner of Speak Out Breaking the Silence. Because many people came on the platform that had many obstacles, obstacles of being raped, obstacles of abuse, domestic violence, substance abuse, one who will murder someone and overcome, and all these things, and you know, people suffer from shaming and all these kind of things. These are obstacles in life, and tonight you may be facing frontally looking at the mirror, but you're looking not at your prettiness or your handsomeness, but you're looking at your obstacle. And tonight we're going to work in tandem, yes, and we're going to make sure that we help you tonight. Whatever is your obstacle, you will certainly able to overcome. Your children resembling the father is not your obstacle. Your children that come up the product of whatever it is, they are not the obstacle, but you will able to overcome tonight, understanding that you have what it takes. Over to Christiana Phillips.
Amen, amen, and amen, Pastor Seon. Well said, well said, well said. Overcoming obstacles. I think one of the way that, or the first step that we need to do is acknowledging the situation. Not ignoring the situation. Don't deny the situation. It's acknowledge this is where I'm at, and that's the first step to want to change or overcome where you're at. One of the things, when we are in our deep space of being in a situation, sometimes we are in denial. And with denial, we cannot solve the issue, or you cannot be in a better place. In my humble opinion, you cannot be in a better place with denial. So, acknowledging where you are is one of the bold steps that you can take. Like, you know what? This is what's happening right now. This is what's in front of my face right now. This is the problem at hand, and I have to deal with this. So Pastor C, and so sometimes, let me speak about myself. I love to speak about myself. So I remembered, when first of all, when I went through what I went through, which is separating, coming to that place to when I recognized that my marriage was over, right? That was like the hardest slap, and I wasn't ready for that. And then I felt like I was in a strong place spiritually. That was another slap, because I felt like, okay, I've gone through the worst already. I'm married. I have my family. I am a family person. I love the idea of marriage and family. And so when it hit me, I crash, like completely crash. I was in my room. I locked myself in the room. I shut my phone down. And if anybody was getting a voice note, it was me crying. It was just like, pray for me. I cannot, or on the phone with you. It was just so much at once. And so I ignored the situation. I try to sleep all day. Okay. I just try to lock myself and keep myself away from others without coming to terms fully like what was really happening. And then I went into, I want to say, pity party, because I'm like, oh my God, Christiana, here you are again, and blah blah blah. And I started not realizing, condemning myself. So other people on the outside, they were doing it. I joined the bandwagon in condemning myself. And then I start telling myself how much I am not worthy. And so I ignored the situation. I just wanted the days to go by, the hours. I wanted it to hurry up, the weeks and the month. I just wanted it to hurry up, until one day I came face to face with the reality of, this is my now. And it wasn't easy. It actually took me making an attempt of suicidal. Like, I tried to commit suicide.
So we're gonna stop there.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna stop there tonight. For now.
For now.
Young man or young woman, I I want you to put yourself in a position that you're hearing our voice as a voice of not reasoning, but a voice of reality to your situation. First, I'm hearing clearly that you went into isolation.
Correct.
So tonight, we're taking our time. So don't get scared. We're not asking you for donation. We're not asking for your money. We're not asking for nothing. The bills will be taken care of. We're not taking you cash up and all the fancy stuff. God will take care. I never did that and I would. It run across the screen if you feel convicted to. So I want you to deal with your situation first. Do not allow anything else to distract you tonight. I'm not about numbers. It's great, but I want quality. And if one quality person tonight can jaywalk from that place, it worth all the money spent for this
Yeah.
studio. So wherever you are right now, and you're saying, this is my situation, she is speaking to me. I don't know Christiana from a hole in the wall. I have never met her. I haven't crossed path with her, but her situation is identical to mine. She come for you tonight. I want you to turn yourself in. This is no pride zone. This is no shame zone. This is no condemnation zone, because first of all, you are in your comfort of wherever you are right now. Maybe in your car, maybe in your home, maybe in the parking lot of the club right now, waiting for this podcast to over, and then you go into the club. But take accountability tonight for 1 hour that your life will change direction. Where this young woman is telling you that 101, first she went into isolation, and you feel like she's speaking to you probably right now, you lock away in the bathroom, that nobody want to hear is coming through your phone because it's speaking to you. You can leave this podcast and don't have 5 more minutes of your life left. How'd you make that choice tonight? I don't want to scare you, but I want you to understand how important a moment is. So, Chaplain, you went first into isolation. Then, second, you went into where you start condemning yourself. But before you went into isolation, you start taking responsibility. So we say isolation is not number one, isolation is number two. So right now, you need to take responsibility, young man. As a matter of fact, we're not putting age to it, even though I say young. But you need to take accountability of where you at. Then if you're going into isolation, that is not the best thing that you should do. Then,
Actually, let's correct that, Pastor Seon. I actually took accountability after isolation.
so you take accountability after isolation.
After.
Okay, we stand corrected, chronicle it. If you are using a pencil, you can erase it. If you're using a pen, you can just scratch it and just renumber it if you're chronicling the sequence. So you went into isolation, then take accountability. So accountability is number two. And then thereafter, speak to us, because someone tonight, I feel if it's one, it worth the while. That one life is too much. Talk to us, Chaplain.
So, isolation is a very dangerous thing because you're by yourself and you're listening to voices, even that sounds so real, okay? And that voice, at that moment, you're not having that spiritual discernment. And so I start telling myself how much I'm not worthy and how much I'm not valued and how my life is a joke, okay? And with that, and also I felt rejected a lot. I felt like no one understands me, no one gets me. And so I made the attempt of suicide. Um, I was actually waiting around. I remember that day I was waiting around to die. And I was just waiting there. And I was among my kids at this time because now it's daytime. And after I realized that didn't happen, that's when I went to take accountability for where I'm at. Okay, Chris, you got to get a grip of yourself. The first thing I did was coming out of isolation, and I made myself busy. I would start working. It's like, what? My mom is here. I was home with the kids. I'm going to go on the road. And I started doing taxi, and I started spending hours on the road because I remember one of the things is like, okay, what are you doing to help your situation? Okay, so this is it. So if I go on the road, I can meet different people and I could do my own talk therapy by meeting customers upon customers every day. And I've met counselors, psychologists, lawyers, and we're just talking, talking, talking. And that helped me. I was speaking to complete strangers because I'm like, you know what? When they leave this car, I'm not seeing them again. So, so it didn't matter to me. But then that's what helped me. It may um some of you may not want to speak to strangers, and I'm not saying that's the direction that you should go. But the first definitely come out from a place of being isolated. Being isolated is a very dangerous place to be, and get busy doing something, and until you come to that place of where you at is understanding, okay, this is happening to me right now. Is acknowledging that this is my space right now.
So you
Second,
came out of isolation.
mm-hmm,
You came out of isolation and you start getting yourself busy. I think that's when you get into Uber and you
yep,
start get into Lyft, being a taxi driver.
Uber, yeah,
So tonight, if you are in isolation, and I heard you said clearly that you start hearing voices,
mm-hmm,
and probably in isolation tonight, you are hearing voices. It's like your life right now through this podcast is replaying to you. It's like we are unveiling a movie scene, and it's you we are speaking to tonight. So what you said is to get busy. So tonight, when you come out of isolation, do not linger too long in isolation. Try doing things that you have never done before. Start going to the gym. Let them get busy in the gym. Start
mm-hmm,
taking up that on those dumbbells and start talking to those dumbbells. Whatever machine, whatever rep, start doing what you start doing. Or start becomes a taxi driver. Start Uber, Lyft, whatever. Start going to the mall. You may not be a person who's going to the mall. Start taking yourself out to the movies and start going on your own self date. You can book a hotel room and have your nice, what I mean, or take a vacation. Yeah, book a vacation wherever it is, to wherever it is, the Bahamas. You can go to Honduras, whatever it is. You can just start doing something that you have never done before. Do not stay in isolation because it will lead you to suicide. Chaplain Christiana.
so one of the thing with it's acknowledging is now you're targeting the issue. And so many times it's so easy for us to get to the surface issue, right? So we look at the surface issue and we're not getting to the root cause of the issue. Being at the surface issue, the surface level, and then it's like you start complaining about everything that's falling apart, right? Or whatever the situation is. And so you're looking at face value, but you're not tackling the root cause of it. So the next step I would try to say is understanding the root cause of the problem. So we acknowledge that there are problems, right? And I always try to explain it this way. There are rivers, but where does the rivers lead through? So you want to get to the ocean. And the sooner you get there, is the better that you can now tackle what's happening with you. So because we always say, okay, my head hurts, but then why do you have a headache, right? Why is the stumbling block? Why is the problem? You may say, okay, I don't feel like getting out of bed, so you keep calling out of work, but why the calling out of work is not the issue, but what's keeping you in bed is the issue. And so many times we're not acknowledging the root cause of the issue. And a lot of us sometimes goes in denial with the root cause of the issue because we don't want to face the reality of the issue. Get me, Pastor Seon?
Yes, yes.
So it's so important for us to get there. Once you tackle the root cause of the issue, then you can now start taking baby steps. Because we say Rome wasn't built in a day.
So the
Yeah.
goal is, if I'm hearing clearly, because we're taking our time tonight, family, because I believe you're speaking to somebody tonight, and our topic, if you came in late, is overcoming obstacles.
Mhm.
And we don't know what your obstacles are. And the obstacles are wearing you down so much. And we're helping you to get into that safe place. That is the place you need to be. That safe place. And I'm hearing you saying is that first you have to acknowledge why you are where you are. And after you understand why you are where you are, how you were able to get to this place being the safe place. So why am I calling out of work? Why what is the root cause? Why am I having this headache all the time? What is weighing my mind down? Why am not the person laughing what I used to? Why am I not enjoying my femininity being a female? Why am I not enjoying my masculinity being a male? Why am I not able to be the person I used to be? This fun, laughable person, this person everybody can wait before they see me, they see my teeth, they see me so happy. And why I'm not at this safe place? So the goal, as we're chronicling tonight, is to help you to get to that safe place. So for those who came in late tonight, our topic is overcoming obstacles. And obstacles are necessary because we have no control over obstacles in life. Because whether you don't want to take responsibility, because sometimes the person who caused the obstacle may not want to take responsibility, because from the onset, chaplain, we start this world, and this life was started by a blame game, which we call deflection. Adam deflected Eve, and he deflected the snake, the serpent, and that's why life, nobody take responsibility when things is bad. But when it's good, everybody wants to clap, everybody wants the spotlight. But when the thing go wrong, nobody want to take the responsibility. So tonight is finding that safe place. So, chaplain, help us that we can walk now, seeing that they acknowledge and now they are in this ocean and they're paddling, they're swimming, they're whatever they're trying to get to that safe place. How did you on your way to that safe place?
So I start taking baby steps. As I was saying earlier, you break down the issue. So you are at work and you have this big project in front of you, and you're like, oh my God, like this is a lot of work. How am I going to get this done today? Perhaps you may not be able to get it done today, but if you start working at it, you'll be able to get something done today. And every day is important to you. What you do concerning this issue, obstacles that's in front of your way, is very important to you, no one else. So it's important for you to know what you can handle. So I suggest that you break down the situation bit by bit and deal with it one at a time. Prioritize. So now this is your own problem, your trials, your tribulation. And again, we're on training ground here. And so, how can I solve this matter? How can I get out of this? Now that I know my root cause, now I'm going to break this down into pieces. Now, I'm not going to be blaming others. And that's what taking responsibility. Getting out of your obstacle is not pointing fingers.
Mm.
Getting out of your obstacle is not pointing fingers. It's looking at you. Where did I go wrong? How can I address where I went wrong? Because nobody cannot do as much to you than you allow them to do. So whoever is disrespecting you does not have to always continue to disrespect you. What are you doing about that disrespect? That's just an example. Okay. So now, after you take responsibility, take accountability, stop blaming others, and get to that place of what can I do to better the situation? I need help. What does that help look like? What is it that you can do personally? You can choose to get up every single day and look in the mirror and said, I am beautiful. I am handsome. That's what you, because first you got to start taking care of you, your mind. You are responsible for you. And the reason why I said that, Pastor Seon, is because no one is going to take care of you better than you.
And I love what you said because I never hear it been presented this way, in a sense that this day, that speak to me, knock my socks off my feet. This day means something to you. What does this day means to me? What does this week means to me? What does this month mean to me? What does this year mean to you? So when you said that, it really, I never heard it that way, but what I feel in my spirit is patterns and cycle. And then
Mhm.
you said now it's a responsibility. So what does this day really mean to you in understanding that nobody can treat you the way how you allow them to? Because
Mhm.
you cannot avoid sometimes some spaces and places from some people, because you remember you don't want to see some people, but suddenly you go to the supermarket and you know wherever. So this man is the devil, and you're speaking in tongues and all because they're shopping at the cash register.
Yeah.
Sometimes you said they're not gonna go to the wedding because they leave at another to live in another country. Next thing you know, they show up at the wedding. Or you're going late to the birthday party because they don't stay until the birthday party finish. So when you go this, who there at the front position that you can see them? The same person.
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself, what does this day mean to me? What does this week mean to me, man? And look, man, I love that thought trend in there. Because many people do not know what the day mean for them. Because all they say, this is another day of pity party. This is another day that I'm gonna cry. And they look into the mirror and they call it Yvette, Tyrone, and everybody that they see that is responsible. So they're waking up to cry the person name. They wake up another day to relive the situation. So what Chaplain is saying tonight is to start thinking, what does this day mean to you? Trudy Majamutu, Malika Stevens, Apostle J.D. Passad, Cortelia Lewis. What does this day mean to you? Lafina Bennett, Otisha Niles Toby, Coretta Millington. What does this day mean to me? That this day I'm going to come out of domestic violence. This day I'm not going to be abused. This day I'm not going to be called out of my name. This day I'm not going to be called out of character. This day, what does this day week mean to me? You see, I'll hand over to you in a second, Chaplain,
Take
because
your time.
happen is that certain things form themselves in a sequential order of life. That every week, this specific Wednesday, something always happen on this Wednesday. This specific month, something always happen. Every Christmas time, this thing or every Easter, and you have to say, what does this mean to me? Or probably every time is your birth night, the man come and start all kind of problem just because he want to go by himself with his friend and stop celebrating you. Or every time something's supposed to happen, there's the time you try everything to become violent and start abusing you. At certain time, there's a time you find when you have a goal, there's a time you want to take the money from that. His thing is more important. So you have to chronicle that day and that time. Chaplain Christiana.
Yeah. So it's important for us to know that. And again, these are things that I did, right? Uh, Another thing that is come up with solution. Like you said, it could be domestic, whatever it is, the situation that's creating you to be in that state of mind, because that state of mind is not healthy. It's not healthy. So therefore, you are responsible to create your safe space. And how do I do that? Some may say, well, I don't have money to move out right away. Some may say, okay, I don't want to leave my marriage, and that's okay, right? But what is the solution? Now you got to list your problems. You're breaking down this giant problem in front of you into small pieces, prioritize it, and then now you're going to find solution onto how you're going to tackle each one of them, because you are your project. You are important.
Hmm.
You are important. So you are making yourself a project. So now How are you going to tackle each situation that you have listed? You prioritize it, and then you come up with solution for each, and then you start brainstorming. How can I fix this? What are things that I can do? Right? But don't just stay there, because asking for help is not a problem. Even it's about you taking the first step to go out and seek help, and know who to trust. In this case, know who to trust. That's very important,
Mm-hmm.
because not everybody can handle your story. I had to learn that. That is not them, is that I am sharing my story, and not everybody could handle your story. Some may say, man, that is too much for me. I can't deal with that. Oh, that is messy. So you try to find people who can handle your situation, whether it's professionally, whether it's a good friend, you know who you can trust. And you don't want a friend that's a yes buddy. A
Mm-hmm.
yes friend does not help you. You want someone who is honest and who can say no. Yes, you need someone to be honest with you. So you seek help. After breaking down your problem, seek help if you must. Even if to do counseling. For me, like I said, it was talk therapy for me. I found free counselors in my car. All right. I would spend hours on the road. And and she became a very personal friend to me. She was retired, but then she was the head of the psychiatric department,
Wow.
and so we every time I pick her up, it's like always, how you doing, how you doing, and so that's some of the things that I would say to make sure that you find solution, and don't just come up with one and make it black and white and make it solid and that's it. Remember, you're brainstorming, and then you tackle it because remember, you're doing this for you. Some may say, oh, my kids is first. You are first, because if you're not okay mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, then your kids cannot be okay. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to be okay. If you are not okay, you cannot function on your job properly. So you have to be okay, because at the end of the day, you don't nobody to be in messing with your bread and butter. So you have to be okay. The days that I used to just drive past the scene with tears in my eyes, or just end up with talk therapy, and I just like just today I was reading this book. I just started reading this book, Spiritual Malfunction, and I could relate to the author. It took me back there. I was like, wow, like someone really get it. So there are people out there, believe it or not, are going through the same situation that you are currently going through, or have passed it. So now I can come back and speak on it so that I can help you, even if it's just one person. So I would say get to that place where you ask for help. Another thing that helped me, Pastor Seon, you did. Another person that helped me, you did. It was just talk therapy on the phone all the time for hours at a time. And I want to thank you. Thank you for being in that space, right? And I remember like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I saw this thing with chaplaincy and all these things. And I'm like, what is this? And then you were able to make me understand it. And another thing that I did, I made a vow that I am going to try my very best to help, even if it's one person. And what I did, I went to school. I went to school for Christian counseling in the midst of my pain. Trust me, I was in those classes and I would cry. And that was these classes was Zoom. So by the time we were already waiting for graduation, it's like everybody they couldn't wait to see me, just to give me that hug, because it was always virtual hugs. So I'm in this class and I'm taking Christian counseling, and I'm in this other class and I'm doing chaplaincy, and I'm learning, because these are what chaplaincy is and Christian counseling is. It's reaching out to people who's at that space to meet them where they're at. And then my class helped me out a lot, because I was very transparent in my class. So I went to school for that. And that made me understand things even more. Like, oh, okay, this is why I was feeling this way. And so we can't expect it from others. This is why you are responsible for you, and you have to prioritize you. And, for me, I had to make myself a priority. I had to really make sure that my mind was right. My spiritual life, I had to get back in line. You understand? And so even my finance, everything, I said, you know what? You can't just go around blaming others. Well, this is what you made me do this. You made me think this. You made me try to commit suicide. No, 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 no. God gave us the power, the same power and authority. We have power. Once we have Christ with us, we have that same power. He has passed it down. If we could only understand the power that's in our hand, we could tackle this world. And what my life was chaotic. When I'm talking about between, if it's not my ex-husband arguing, if my not my dad arguing, if it's not my mom arguing, Pastor Seon, used to get these calls. I used to be on the road like, oh my
And I remember, and for those who don't understand,
God.
as a chaplain, our goal is to follow the pain.
Yeah.
And that's an exception between a pastor and a chaplain. A pastor is within four walls, the caregiver within four walls. And a chaplain is a caregiver beyond the four walls. So we are called to follow the pain and to bring about a change. And I remember that night when one of your good friends walked away from you and said, you get too much going on and I can't deal with what you get going on.
Yeah.
And walk out, jaywalk, somersault, swim out your life. And I remember you say, Pastor Seon, you gonna go too? Like when Jesus turned to Peter and said, you going too? And this is
Yeah.
a situation in our lives that we face.
Yeah.
And people who should be your catch basin. People should be the one to catch you when you fall. Like the man singing the song to the woman, I'll be there before the next teardrops fall. And she's crying, and he in there.
Oh God.
Probably gets none of the tears. It finally comes back to her.
Yeah.
And I remember that moment, but the seriousness of things that you is that you have to come up with a contingency plan. Am I gonna have an exit strategy, or am I gonna take people along with me than rather going with myself on this journey?
Yeah.
And I love what you said. You cannot take everybody on that journey because you may take the wrong person. It's like you committed suicide. They orchestrated for you get killed.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to know who you're taking on that journey, who are au fait with your tactical plan of your exit strategy. Saying that to say that the heart of man is desperately
Desperately wicked. Desperately.
I have a friend. She lived in Paris. Met this young man in Holland on Facebook. They fall in love and all these kind of nice romantic long distance going on. And she decided to bring him to Paris. They had a great 1 month of real honeymoon time. And he decided that he don't want to work, he don't want to do anything, and she should mind him. So what she did, chaplain, she decided to buy a one-way ticket to send him home. The young man get up that morning, surprisingly, make her breakfast he didn't do for a long while, pack her bag. And while she said, all right, honey, thanks for all that you're doing, she didn't know he'd take the other door and come to meet her at the bottom of the step with a knife in his hand.
Wow.
She clung to life by a minute of second. He's in jail right now.
Wow.
Serious obstacles. No one to call. Is somebody passing and hear a sharp squeal and come covered in blood? He don't know what to do because he don't have family there. She don't have much family than the kids. That is not his. But he's sitting in jail because one of our child fathers is a police and not being tried. He got rot in there without facing a trial. That's because of the power be of one of the child father. I'm not rejoicing, but what I'm saying is that whatever is your obstacle, she said she didn't know she missed those signs. But she was happy for this morning he come around, even though in like 2 hours he's going back home. So she think it's his last, being nice and make sure you're going to leave her with memories. And you understand what I'm saying? Not knowing that he's preparing her to kill her. Obstacles. So you have to know how you're going to plan your exit strategy, how you're going to plan your inclusiveness if you're going to counseling, who you want to bring into that friend zone that are au fait, that can be impartial, that you can talk and help people to come to a place, both party in accountability. We're talking this in the confine of domestic violence and abusive situation. But obstacle can be finance, can be various things, again, evictive, whatever, bad money management, because of umbrella term in obstacles. But you has to make sure that you came up with a strategy according to Chaplin. And it's very much important if you want to have that success plan and that success story. Over to you, Chaplin.
Yeah, very important. I mean, when creating our safe space, we have to be very tactful. We have to be intentional. We have to be very careful as to how we start creating that safe environment, because then, I mean, I'm so sad to hear that situation turned out that way. And this is why, even when we're finding solution and we are communicating with our friends or family, that we're open to their opinions as well. We don't have to follow everything, but we also want to hear, because sometimes you're in it, and then sometimes other people from the outside looking in. So, and then we don't want to jump to assuming what they're saying and what they're thinking. So that's why the persons or the people that you're speaking with, you want to make sure that you trust them, and you respect their advice. And again, don't jump to someone who's just going to agree with you just to be on your side, because you want to see you. You want to see you. You understand? And sometimes seeing you may not be pretty either. Hey, sometimes seeing you may not be pretty either. You just have to, but the first step to change is acknowledging that you too need to do some things, because we're all not perfect, right? And it takes two to tango. It always takes two to tango. You understand? One person might be yelling and screaming. I don't have to respond in that moment. That's the power that we have. I don't have to respond in that moment. So there are things that we can do to make our situation better. But moving forward, maintain a positive mindset. Get to that place to maintain a positive mindset and embrace you. Embrace the situation, embrace you. One of the things that I said, Pastor Seon, is like, never going to get married again. Don't want a relationship. Don't even smell me my way. I just want to focus on me. And, I was just, I got into that place where I started feeling myself. And I have right to start feeling myself, okay? Get in that place, because it's embracing me. It's embracing all my flaws, all my mishap, and embracing that, hey, I'm still in the land of the living today. I'm around my kids, and I'm like, God have given me grace. So what am I going to do with God's grace? What am I doing today? Today, there's a podcast, Speak Out, Breaking the Silence, came out of all of that. And, even before I wanted to do this podcast, and I remember saying, I am never going to go on no stream. I'm not going to be talking about my life. I don't want nobody in my business. You understand? But those are the trick of the enemy that want to keep you in bondage and keep yourself in prison, because sometimes we keep ourselves in bondage and in prison. We don't, okay? So, but I remember you too, Pastor Seon, this was like, Christina, when are you gonna start this thing, man? Man, when are you gonna start this? I sound like you, Pastor Seon. When are you gonna start this thing, man? You know, man. I said, all right, I will set the date. I will set the date. Like, I don't know, 6 months down. I eventually say, all right, all right, all right. I will put a date out there. And you know, once you have a date out there, you have to start this podcast. And I was very, very nervous. But I thank God because so many have been blessed. We've had so many different topics, you know, coming out of homosexuality, being raped. I mean, being a killer to a saint today. I mean, these are real life stories. We talk about marriage, we talk about sex, you know, and the whole idea is listen, life be life, and this is the reality that things are happening. You know, there's so many people being so religious on things that church don't want to tap into some of these conversations. Listen, people come through the door of all walks of life, and we want them to know, hey, it's okay. We're gonna meet you where you at with no condemnation, because since I went through all of that, one thing have erased for me is judging someone. I will never judge anyone again. Like, you understand? Because I never thought, Pastor Sean, that I would have reached the place that I went back. I thought that I was in a place strong spiritually. I never ever think that you have arrived. Don't ever feel like you have arrived.
And
Because
I
Mhm.
love that Alicia Class said that I didn't know you are a pastor.
I'm blowing you up.
Somebody I'm mentoring. I didn't know I was a pastor because on the serious side of things, I think I come before the title. I
Yeah,
don't have to, like you get some people, they got to present that you have to call them pastor and present this.
yeah, no.
I come before the office, and for me, it does have its place and its time. So I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm at least sorry to let you know that I am a pastor. And but what I love when I push you to the podcast, because I've seen in you the growth mindset.
Amen.
And to overcome your obstacles, you must have a growth mindset. Because what happened now, and for Speak Out Breaking the Silence, is no longer what you was, is what you is. You are today by a new name. You are today by a brand new person. So now what you know me was yesterday. You know me yesterday as a broken person. You know me yesterday as a crier baby. But today I am strong. Today I have the fortitude, the strength. Today I have testicle fortitude. Come on. Today I have spiritual muscle. I'm a stalwart. Look, yesterday I was broken. I want to commit suicide. I'm not a suicide baby. I am a CEO today. So I want you to understand tonight that you can overcome as bad as your obstacles there is or was. Have that growth mindset. You know me yesterday as whatever, but today you're going to know me by a brand new name. They knew Jesus yesterday as the carpenter's son, but today they know him as the savior of the world. They can know you with your obstacles as a prostitute, but today you can have the center for battered and abused women. They may know you the person that passed and see evicted, but tomorrow they see you own an apartment complex. Come on. You see, it's not what you was, it's not what you once know you for. The man now we look at your life who walk away from you when you had so much going on and so on. And you didn't need money from him. All you didn't need is 5 minutes every upon the hour to just open his ears. But he feel your cry is too much for him. So he wants somebody cry less and laugh more. But you have no courage to laugh. All you saw, Chaplain, was your pain.
Yeah.
But look at you today. So tonight we want everyone, for those who came in late, our topic is overcoming your obstacles. And my sister said something to me many years ago. One of my many sisters, but not the one we are very close, you know. We always play boxing match with words and boxing match with phraseology and so on. And then the day she called me, she said, my brother, the things that we cry about today, we're gonna laugh about tomorrow. So I
Amen.
gravitate to that line of thought. So overcome your obstacles, Chaplain Christiana.
Yeah, so there's some things that you need to do is focus on moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on moving forward and looking back. Make sure you look back with a smile, right? Because you want to believe in your ability to overcome challenges. Because now, if you can overcome this, then you can overcome that and you can overcome that. So believe in your ability that you can do it. Amen. Learn from your mistakes. Be kind, understanding towards yourself. Don't be too harsh with yourself. Be kind to yourself. That's embracing you and loving you and meet you where
Mm,
you're at. And
mm.
that's how you can become a better you, right? And most importantly, help others
What
because
do
you know how it felt.
you mean to you? That's why you just said, right?
So
You,
then,
you just said meet you.
yeah, meet you. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
So we're asking you tonight if you are in such a stead of your obstacle. And Chaplain said something very important. Meet you. Have that reintroduction to yourself.
Yeah.
You may wait for somebody to reintroduce you, but they're reintroducing you to the whole you. You never see some people that come, yo, look how you look how you do. And they take you right back to your past. They
Yeah.
call in name, they call in place, and all kind of story. And you find they just, some phone call you shouldn't take, period. Because they can take some
Yeah.
conference, they change your entire day. They just call to mess up your whole mood because all they can bring you is just dark, 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 dark.
Yeah.
So I love that. Introduce yourself to your new you. So
Mhm.
you wake up tomorrow, as sure as Sunday gonna be. I am Christiana Phillips, the CEO of Breaking Out the Speak Out, Breaking the Silence. You're introducing to your new you. I am Christiana Phillips. I am the chaplain. I am the life coach. So tonight, as you overcome your obstacle, really, and this is a thing I get a problem. People introduce me. I just introduce myself over. For real. I just bypass the office, but I call back my name, call like my name. I reintroduce me because I like to be defined by what I'm about to present. I love what you said. So tonight, with that growth mindset, whatever is your obstacle, introduce yourself to the new you. I love that. I am joy. I mean, your parents may not give you the name Joy, but introduce to joy because joy is joyful. You're laughing now. I am peace. Introduce yourself to peace because you have the peace now that passeth all understanding. I am resty because, well, you're sleeping through the night now. Oh, my Jesus.
Amen. That part.
The Holy Ghost. Oh, Chaplain, take over this piece, man. Because, oh, my God. That's so.
Now, I want to repeat what Dr. Marlene Phillips said in one of the posts that she made. I think it was a TikTok that she made. Dr. Marlene Phillips said, "Come back home to yourself."
Mm,
That hit me when I read that. I was say, "Come home back to you," something like that effect. But I know it definitely said, "Come home back to you," and I'm like, "Wow!" Like, ouch. You understand? And so that's what. Listen, that's the place that we need to be.
mm-hmm,
That's where we need to be. Embracing you, loving you. You understand?
mm-hmm.
And just love where God has brought you from. When I look back, this is sound when I look back after all that I don't remember, I don't know the words for it, but I love looking back in a positive manner.
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
love looking back in a positive manner I'm no longer ashamed. I can speak about it and I can say it. And I'm not saying it like proud to be like, no, I'm saying it to be proud to be alive. Proud to be alive, proud to where God has brought me from today, from where I went to today. And I love the podcast because I get so many responses, positive responses to it. You know, where people say, man, it touched me. I get messages, Pastor Seon, you know, when we do a podcast and how much it's blessed them. And I always say, listen, even if it's just one person, you are important to me. You are, and I'm speaking to that one person right now, that you have the song of my voice, that you are important to me. I don't have to know you, but most importantly, you are important to God. Jesus left the 99 and he went after the one. And you are that one. And you can come back home to you, and you can come back home to God. And he is Jehovah Shalom. Peace. There's nothing like the peace I get today. Man, I lay down. It's like whenever I hear something, Pastor Seon, I'm like, okay, it's supposed to happen that way. If it's coming my way, if it's happening in that manner, I'm at that place where Romans 8:20, all things, and we know that all things work together to them that love God. So it will work out. It may not look so now, it may not appear so now, but it will work out. You just need to trust the process. That's another line of mine, a favorite line of mine. Trust the process. And if you are going through it, if a trials and tribulations is hitting you this way, know that it's because there's something greater that is birthing inside of you. You just don't know it yet. That you are valuable to God. That, you know, he is setting you up. You on training grounds. I always say, listen, the army, they don't just pick the guys and say, oh, I want to go in the army and just throw me in the fight like that. We got to go to some training. I think 3 months training, and there's some hard training. And so your trials and tribulation is a training ground, because God, the ending result is God has something better. Maybe you're too comfortable where you're at. Maybe you don't even realize your worth, and God wants you to see his worth, your worth. And maybe you don't understand that you're holding back somebody else, because God wants you to help that person, but you can't relate to that person yet until you have gone through the storm yourself. And now you can tell that person how to paddle out the canoe out of that storm. That's you, and you are important.
I love what you say that. I just write down a topic for the next podcast from what you said. Don't be greedy. We were taught a false way of being pride and proudful. Pride is a great way of letting God know that you're happy to show his providence. We were taught if you get too proudful, if you try to show forth God providence, is like you're taken away from God. Why did God tell the lepers and expect them to come back and say thanks? So that he is providence of healing them and he will get the glory. You understand? So he's happy to look back and say, yes, the Lord has done. It's happy to take a different posture, pump up your chest, flex up your muscle, do up your hair, and nice up your teeth and thing and so on, and come take, because you want to show God providence when you were broken, while you were down, and time the devil was recognized. I'm not going to stay quiet. I would not be silent. If you want judge me that are very proudful, it's up to you, but it's first to God, and then I have a stake in it too. So I want you to understand that it's like some pastors, they believe in God, bless them, and if they talk about the blessing, people stop tithing, people not gonna come no more, and people think they're boasting. It's God. That's why sometimes people feel that sometimes some of us are poorer than we think we are, because we're trying to make people feel that we are poor, when God wants us to know that we should show for the blessing of God. You see what I'm saying? That is not just their ink on paper with no power. So, Christiana, I want you to dress up more than you can dress up. I want you laugh more than you can laugh. I want you speak out more you can speak out. I want you do up yourself more you can do up yourself. You want to model your victory, dance your victory, because it belongs to you. Because you could not have been here. You could have been on a cooling board, a ice board. You could have been smelling daisy by the brook. You could have been rotten and forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, as you overcome your obstacle, where you was is your reference point.
I love it.
You know, so you got the scars to show, you know what I mean? I don't live there no more. I don't live in the coop no more. I don't eat from Big Pen no more. Look what I get. China wear. A matter of fact, tumbler. I don't know if get old no more. I get out of place. So come on, you know what I'm saying? My watch spinning far now. Now I get time whenever this watch is an Invictor. I mean, we got to show up. I don't live there anymore. Me get lines in my face coming across all about because I used to cry myself to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Model Jesus, model heaven. Look what my daddy has done for me, man.
Amen.
Overcome your obstacles. Tonight, as we are chaplain, we are comrades, and we were taught to follow your pain. Whatever your pain was, we trust that tonight you begin on your growth mindset. You don't know by what you was known before. I guess you packing your bag and ready to move. I'm talking about the mind luggage, throwing some out and keep the valuables, because your mind is going to a different place. You're renewed, transformed by the renewing, not removing, by the renewing of your mind. Chaplain Christiana.
Yeah, so I hope that my story was able to help someone today. I do hope that you're able to make the decision to get up and start the process of healing by trusting the process. And I want to say thank you so much, Pastor Seon, for having me on tonight. And I do pray that we were able to help at least one of you. So thank you. And I was happy to share my testimonies. Testimonies, by the way. That would be my take.
Thank you tonight once again, your friend and your family
Yes,
of
friend.
ministry, and I'm so proud and happy to be in a braggadocious way about you, of your growth mindset, because I know when I came into contact with you, when you were going through all the pain and all the agony and situations, like the devil was just selecting you, all the monkey wrench coming from left, right, and you were in defeat, even the 12 wrong, like it hitting you have no strength to get up and all of that. And one thing I refrained myself from was helping you to make that decision, allow you independently to chronicle your decision, and I look back to see what you will do. And I loved your growth mindset. And when many people thought that I would have walked away from you, I said I don't do that to people, you know what I'm saying, because I want to let people know that walking away from people doesn't solve the problem. Jesus didn't walk away from us. He said, come, let's reason, Sian, come, let's reason, Christiana. You're sinning like scarlet, you know. But here, if we talk, I'm not going to leave you there. I'll make them white as snow. And tonight, now you're no longer a mentee, you are a mentor. So tonight, with your growth mindset, overcoming your obstacle, you are valuable. And I love what our chaplain says to life. You are God's iron made. You are God's treasure trove. Oh my God. They can't find you in a pawn shop. I went to the pawn shop, they're looking for a backpack spray. I didn't find none. You're trying to be cheap. I could find it on Amazon, but I think if I go to the pawn shop, I will get it more. They can find you in a pawn shop. They even can't find you in the mall. As a matter of fact, there's no advertisement for you because there's no price on your price tag. Your price tag can't even fit on this computer. So I want 1, 2, 3, 4 screens and running. And all 4 screens, there's no digit to your value. So once again, Chaplain, tell them where you are and where they can find you and the time and the day of your platform. And also, I would like you to fill the shoes of your pastor, which church you go to, and where the church is located. And I think I see y'all get some, you see, pink or fuchsia color tomorrow, body party, and y'all going on. Y'all get food going on by one. Let us know and so on. Talk to us.
You're free to come over, Pastor Seon. You're free to join us.
We get a flight in the morning. I'll be there.
Oh my God, yes. You could find Speak Out Breaking the Silence every Monday at 8 p.m. on YouTube, on Facebook. Search us by looking for the name Speak Out Breaking the Silence. And if you have a story that you want to break your silence on, you can message us or you can call me 929-333-0114. That's 929-333-0114. And I fellowship at Walk by Faith International Ministries. And so over there, we're in Brooklyn, 5020 Avenue D, between 51st and Utica. So we start at 10:30 in the morning, and tomorrow, this month, we're celebrating 1 month, and tomorrow is the last. So come wear your pink. I'm pretty sure Pastor Carol, come and meet the senior pastor, Bridget London. She'll be celebrating. She's celebrating her birthday, so we have a celebration there with her. And we also have Pastor Bishop and Pastor Carol. And every morning at 6 a.m. we meet for devotion. I could also post a link on Zoom where we meet for our early morning devotion. So wherever you are, could be in Atlanta, could be in Jupiter, join us on the prayer line. I share the link.
And I want to show you Walk by Faith. They're
Yeah,
gonna feed you and they're gonna love your socks off your feet. I'm gonna tell you that is a church that I will endorse. I've never been there physically, but I am a part of Feeling Homely of Walk by Faith family. And who know me, I don't really go out on a limb for and certain things just like that. But Walk by Faith is authentic, and I want to tell you they are unique. And I would like you to give them a visit, and you'll probably maybe your last searching around because you're
definitely.
at Walk by Faith in Brooklyn. And with that being said, I worship at Sanctuary Present Kingdom Ministry. If you're in Atlanta area, we located on the 78, is Highway 78, and that is 1999 Parker's Court, Stone Mountain, Georgia. I will be there and happy to give you a handshake, a footsie, whatever you want, a pong, a dap, whatever you want. I'm happy for you to be with us tomorrow. It's about Youth Sunday, and the youth's going to do their thing. So with that being said, tonight, nice having you. Let me see what we have in the family, right, Chaplain? We have Phillips Cartia or Carletta Phillips or Phillips Carletta, Andre George Claxon. We have Lynette Nelson, Carla Fraser. We have Marcella Harmon, Trudy Majamutu, Michaela Stevenson, Apostle J.D. Passad, Cortelia Lewis. We have Lafina Bennett, Otisha Niles, Toby, Coretta Millington, and we have Jaden Lat joined us tonight. With that being said, we want to thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedule with our topic tonight, overcoming your obstacle, with no other than Chaplain, CEO, and Visionary Christian Counseling, and no other in the person of Christiana Phillips, and yours truly, SGGR, Seon Gregory Gomes Rodney, giving guidance and leadership to the Walmart of social media, the Conversation platform. No harder people to lead than the tribe, the community, and the village of the Conversation platform. With that being said, see you tomorrow, same place, same time, with our date night tomorrow night, with no other than yours truly and Apostle J.D. Passad. God bless you.
God bless. Bye bye, everyone.